Hello and welcome to this video where we continue with the creation of reports. So now I want to create a second report which we will call a retirement report. So this is a report which will give the name of the person, his department, his job title, his age, and then the years to retirement. So it's a report that can be used by HR for planning purposes. So I'm going to start my report in the column H. So I'm going to leave one blank column between these two reports. So the reason why I put the reports side by side and not one on top of the other is because we do not know how big these records are going to be. In other words, we cannot tell how many employees we are going to have at the end of the day, and it will also be too much work for you to be scrolling down looking for where the next report is starting. So we need to have them side by side. So this new report is going to have the same names and departments and job titles, right? So we do not have to start from scratch to create these columns, but I'll demonstrate what our current problem is, which is going to lead us back to that concept of relative referencing and absolute reference, where we were putting the dollar sign to fix. So let me copy, for example, this first few names. So I'll copy the title and the first few names and right click and paste them here. So you can see now that when I put them here, it shifts the reference. Now it is looking at column I instead of looking at the column D, which this formula is pointing to. Why? Because the formula that we put here is a relative formula which changes depending on where you paste it. So we said in order to fix that formula, we need to put a dollar sign. And last time we put a dollar before the column letter and also before the number. So I'm going to do that, but we are going to do it one at a time. We'll start with the full name, then we change here and we say dollar D and $1. So when I copy this formula and paste it here, it is now fixed to looking in column D and row number 1, right? Column D, row number 1. So this is okay for the headings, but when I come to the actual data, if I change this to $D and $2, it will be correct for the first record. So let me copy it and paste it. It's correct for the first record, but if I paste this one now going down, you'll see that it is now wrong for all the others because it continues just saying Mary James, Mary James, Mary James, even when the names have changed. The reason being that we put a dollar both on the column D as well as the number, the row number. So we need to only put the dollar on the column so that we fix the column, but the row number needs to change as we are copying going downwards. So meaning that if we change this one now and we say $D and 2. When we copy and we put it here and paste, you can see that it is now keeping the column correct, and then it is also moving with the rows as you are going down. So we only fixed the column by putting dollar in front of D, but the row we are saying as we are going down, keep the row changing. So there are certain times where you also want to fix the row, but you want to keep the column changing. That is when you are copying things across like that. But when you are copying things going down, you are copying your formula going down, you want to keep the column fixed and the row changing, right? So we need to do the same thing for the department, because we said we want the full name, the department, job title. So these two we will put $M. So because we are not going to be copying this one, we only need to fix the column only, so we don't even need to put dollar on 1. And then same thing here, we also put dollar on O, and we don't put dollar on the number because we don't need to copy it going downwards. So we can highlight the two and copy them, highlight these two and copy them, and then we come here, right click and paste. You see, so because they are next to each other and we have copied their relative formulas here, it will also just bring the same formulas. Here it's saying $01, there it's also $01. So the dollar is fixing the column. So we need to do the same on the data. So we'll do the same on the data here. So we'll change this to $M2, and then that one we change to $O2. So then we copy, and we come here and we right click and paste. So then we can now duplicate this formula going downwards. So we can highlight and copy going down. Okay, so the name also needs to be copied as well. Okay, so that is how you can ensure that next time you want these columns, we don't even have to do anything now. We can now copy from this second one. Like if I highlight and say copy, if I wanted to do a new report somewhere here, I'll then just say paste. So you can see that it is now keeping the correct columns and rows because of that dollar that we put. It's still on $D and 2, $M and 2, $O and 2. So that is how you fix your columns so that they don't shift their reference. Okay, so I don't necessarily need this here. I just demonstrated something. So we say the next thing that we need is the age and the age of the person and the years to retirement. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say copy here, and then I highlight, and then I say paste. Right. So you can see that it is still saying job title, job title. Why? Because I have not changed the letter O. So what we simply need to do is to go and check what is the column for the age and what is the column for the years to retirement. So we go to employee data. The age is in column K, right? So K is for age, and years to retirement is R. So it's K and R. So I simply come here and click here, then I come here, and instead of O, I put K. And here, instead of O, I put an R. So I'm simply showing you different ways of doing the same thing. I could have simply said equal to, then I just go to employees, then I look for where the age is, and I click on the age like that. But if I already have another record which is already pointing to the employee data, and the only difference is the name of the column, then I can just copy that formula and just change the column. So in the same way, I can actually copy this one, paste it here, and then I change this one to K, and this one I change to R. Right, and then I highlight and copy, going down. Right, so you can see that I already have my report. The only thing left now is just for me to put the column headings. So I just need to put my report headings. So this one is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 columns. This one is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But you can see that I have not yet copied the number. So I insert a blank column either here or here. So you can simply say right click and insert. And then what we'll do is I'll copy from here or from there, but this time let me just copy from the number itself, then right click and copy, and then I come here because I started on the number, not on the headings, so I also paste starting from the number. So you can see that I have a new format where this field is not having a border. So I can then redo what we did last time, highlight all these, I say format cells, and then go to alignment and merge cells, and then same thing here, format cells, alignment, merge cells. Okay. Okay, so here I put the company name, Foundation for Business Technology. Right, so you might wonder, why am I retyping when I have it already? I'm just revising just in case somebody just jumped to this module without going through the other module where I demonstrated the previous report. So I'll not make an assumption that everybody is starting from the correct place. Okay, I made a mistake here. I highlighted everything, so I'm going to reverse what I did here and there. Okay, so this one I need to highlight only up to here so that I can have my date in that column. So I say format cells, align and merge. Right, so foundation for business technology CC, and then this one say retirement report. So here we put the date equal to today and press enter, then right click to format the cell and then go to number, and then on the date this time I want this format, so now it will be 26-June. The other time I used June 26, 20. Right, so now I can center and change the color, and this font and the size. Then my retirement report, same thing, I can change my font. Right, so you can see now I've got a new report, that has got the name of the person, department, job title, their age, and how many years to retirement. So you can have so many different reports from the same data by simply selecting the fields that you'd like to include in the report. So I'm going to leave you to create this report for yourself, so that by the time we start with the next video, you now have these two reports. So if you didn't get anything, remember to rewind and start again with this video.